Okay, so go back to slide 4, and let's just look through this. So hopefully you watched the videos. You should have already filled out this slide yourself. Okay, so let's start with the independent variable, right? Remember, that's the thing that changes in the experiment, okay? And the thing that he changed this time was the type of shoes that he was wearing, okay? In the dependent variable, they wanted to know, measured each time, what was the time, was it like to run 100 meters? I can't remember exactly what it was, but basically it's the time that it takes him to run the race. Okay, so each time he's going to change his shoes and then figure out how long it takes. All right, 3 controlled variables, right, that you don't want to mess up the experiment with other things were the weather, his clothing, okay, and the surface. All right, because those would be things to make sure that we're really only looking at the type of shoes that he was wearing. Okay. So from this information, you want to take what question is this experiment try to answer? You could have said something like, what type of shoes make you run faster? Okay, or something like how, this one's a little bit better, how does shoe type affect the time to run a race? Okay, second one's slightly better because, see, it has the variables in it, shoe type and time, right? So it'd be nice if you put the variables in your question. Okay, all right. Okay, what was the answer to that question, right? What were the results of the experiment, right? Running shoes allow you to run faster. Okay, run the fastest. Okay, casual shoes and boots. Okay, you run slower. Something like that, right? That was kind of the result of the experiment. That's what we found out. Okay, and then how did you know that that's what happened, right? Well, basically, you looked and the tennis shoes, let me see, I have the times right here. My computer will come back. Okay, the tennis shoes, or the running shoes, whatever they call them, right? The running shoes had a time of 27.3 seconds. Okay, the casual shoes had a time of 30.2 seconds. And then the boots, right, had a time of 33.3 seconds, right? So this was how we knew what the answer was, because we looked at these things that we measured to see that. Okay, why do you think this was the answer? Was this a surprising result? No, not really, right? Of course the running shoes are better, right? So why do you think that was? You might have said running shoes are designed for running, right? Maybe they are lightweight. They fit your foot well, right? Boots are bulky, they're big. Casual shoes might sort of slip off a little bit, right? But running shoes are designed to be for running. They're lightweight. They probably have a good tread on the bottom, right? They fit your foot tightly. That's why the running shoes are better. Okay? All right. So don't forget also, after you go over this, make sure you check mark the box up in the corner, okay, of this. Check. I did this page. Okay? All right. Now, what is a CER? Okay? So basically, you already did the CER when you look back at your thing. Okay? So the key question was, how does the shoe type affect the time to run the race? Okay, so basically in this box here, just you're writing your same question from before, right? Because you already did this, to run a race. Okay, and remember, this is nice because this talks about shoe type and time. Okay, that has the variable names in it. All right. The claim is basically what you do to just answer the question. This is the answer to the question is what we call the claim. Okay, and it's a nice clean sentence, right? So this one you might say running shoes allow for the fastest race time, something like this, right? It doesn't have to be exactly my words, right? You can use whatever words you want, right? Running shoes allow for the fastest race time. So that would be the claim, which is the answer to the question that you're trying to ask. Okay? Evidence, right? This is the next question that you answered. How do you know this? how do you know that running shoes are the best, right? Well, you looked at the evidence, right? So you could have like a nice little screenshot here, right? Like you might do a little screenshot of the different types of shoes, right? Casual, running, boots, right? So sometimes we might put in a screenshot. You might put in some kind of data. You could just write it out, right? The running shoes had a time of, right? Blah, blah, blah. The casual shoes, blah, blah, blah. The boots, blah, 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 right? So you're just trying to give the evidence. This is the things that you measured or observed, okay, to see what happened. You want to say also where you got the data. You could say something like, I got this data from the video. Okay, or I looked this up on whatever, or I measured this with a ruler, or whatever, however you came to that information is what you're going to write here. Okay, so that's your evidence. Okay, and then reasoning basically just connects it all together, right? Just like you did on the last page. Well, okay, so running shoes were clearly the best. I've said running shoes are the best. Why are running shoes the best, right? So in reasoning, it would be a nice like paragraph statement, right? So you might say running shoes allow for the fastest time because, right? And then you'll talk about all the reasons why, right? Like we said before, they're lightweight, they're fit to your foot, they have a good tread on them. Casual shoes might slip off. They don't really have a tie. They're not tight fitting, right? They have a weird heel at the bottom. That's going to probably impact your race time, okay? Boots are really bad because they're heavy, they're bulky, they don't allow your foot to move well, right? Reasoning is where you explain why you said this, right? Your evidence connects to your claim, and then you kind of give some more information about why, okay? All right, so you're going to write that reasoning, okay? And then remember, when you finish this page, give me a check mark right here, okay? All right, so after you finish this page on the next slide, oh, actually, I put it all on this slide, okay? So basically, this is just kind of, you know, like some notes for it, right? Just kind of read through this. So the claim, a single statement, okay? Evidence, this is where you put your data, okay? And reasoning basically ties it all together, okay? Reasoning basically ties it all together, okay? So we read this page, all right? And there's one more. This just has a little bit, the next two slides have a little bit more explanations, okay? So you just read through this, right? So the claim, it's the statement, it's the answer, okay? It's usually one nice clear sentence, describes a relationship between the variables, okay? And it should be unambiguous, not like, well, I think that running shoes are the best. No, running shoes are the best, period. A clean sentence, okay? Right, the evidence, remember, it needs to be sufficient. You need to make sure you can prove your claim. You might have qualitative data, right, which is like observations. It's red, it was fast, the heel is big, whatever, okay? Could be quantitative, it could be numbers, okay? It might have graphs, pictures, screenshots, tables, something, okay? But the important thing in evidence is you don't give any explanation. You don't give any justification of it, okay? You just simply put the information in, okay, without drawing any conclusions, okay? All right, so we're going to check this page off. Check. Okay, right, and then the reasoning, right? This is where you sort of tie it all together. This is why the evidence supports the claim, right? What is the justification? What are the scientific principles, if there are any in this case, right? That you explain based on your evidence, okay? And this is your chance to sort of talk more and to kind of be more explanatory in what you're saying, all right? Answer this. What do you think is the easiest part about writing the CER? And then answer this. What do you think is the most difficult part? I know what my most difficult part is, but I'll tell you later. Okay? All right, when you finish all this, check the box. Okay? And then you're ready to go on to physicists like me in the next video. All right? If you have any questions, right, remember in ClassKick, you can do the raise your hand tool, right? Just the little hand in the top. You can type me a question in there if you need me to check it. And I will do the best I can throughout the day to check it. All right, that's it.